Shall we rewrite?
Yes! Finally! Finally!
Yo, you got Yuno.
Yeah, man, I finally got her. I lost my 50-50, but I got her, and it was worth it.
Oh my god, bro, she's mad fun, man. But you got Augusta, right?
No, I didn't want Augusta, so I just got Yuno. I only wanted Yuno.
What do you mean you didn't get Augusta, man? Like, Yuno's literally made for Augusta. Like the same way how Chacona is made for Cartethiya, and Phoebe is made for Zanny. Like, what are you talking about?
Bro, I don't want Augusta though. Like,
alright, bro, you're trolling, bro. Yuno with no Augusta. This guy is trolling, man.
Alright, honestly, I'm exaggerating a lot right now because I really don't feel like it's that big of an issue right now, or really an issue at all. But Yuno releasing does make me realize a couple of things that I feel like have been happening in Wuthering Waves, and makes me a little bit concerned for things that could happen in the future. But you may not even realize it because you probably don't even have Yuno. And if you want Yuno, but you're broke, maybe not broke, but you need to get it for cheaper, you might as well use LD Shop, a website where you can get your game's currency like Wuthering Waves at an incredible 15% off. It's actually really easy too, and it makes topping up much more affordable. Like in Wuthering Waves, if you want a character like Yuno, they have a deal that lets you basically guarantee her. With this website, you can get a top up that's about $100 for literally $77. And it's super easy too. All you gotta do is head to the website using my link, which will also give you a 5% discount, which will allow you to save up to $50. Click the game you want to top up for, enter your UID, or log into your account on the website, follow the instructions, confirm your order, follow through with checking out, and just like that, your order is right there within minutes. It's super fast, really easy, and very convenient because it's cheaper than topping up in the game. It's extremely safe and reliable, and many people use it. And if it's your first time using it, there's a 15% discount for newcomers. So it's a perfect time to use it now. On top of that, if you spend $80, you get a free game pass, which can be claimed in the homepage. They also have other games like Honkai Star Rail, Zero, and Genshin Impact, so you can use whichever game you want. Thank you, LD Shop, for sponsoring this video. Now let me talk about my concerns. So this might be an invalid crash out, and I'm 100% willing to eat my words if anybody wants to tell me that I'm wrong. But as soon as I saw Yuno's kit and whenever she came out, I really wanted Yuno. I really wanted to get her because she looked really cool. I love her blue hair. I love her aesthetic. She plays very fluid. But after looking at her kit, it made me realize that she was heavily tailored towards Augusta. And this got me wondering, because I was thinking, is there really a point in getting Yuno if I don't have Augusta? I mean, there is, but it still bothers me that I'm really thinking about that, or have to even have that conversation with myself in my mind, thinking that she's pretty much tailor-made for Augusta as her support, or sub DPS in support, to make her better, to buff her, because she heavily buffs heavy attack, and then she also heavily buffs her damage whenever shields are applied. So it really just got me thinking, this is not the first time that this happened. Whenever Phoebe came out, we all realized she was a very good DPS. But at the same time, she has two modes in her gameplay. I believe her absolution state and her confession state. And her confession state seemed completely like a support role. So it made me think, this is probably a support for another character, because this is not going to be really beneficial for a character that's out right now. Whenever Phoebe came out, and then we realized whenever Zanny came out, that's literally what that mode was for. So it was like, it felt like Phoebe was honestly tailor-made to support Zanny. Luckily, she was also a DPS, and she had her DPS absolution state, so it didn't really matter that much. So it wasn't that big of a deal, because you could also just be a DPS. You could slap Spectral Rover, Shorekeeper, or whatever the fuck you want after that, and you'll probably clear content. So it was fine. After that, Chacona came out, and then as soon as Chacona came out, it was quite literally completely easy. They didn't even try to hide it. The fact that she was literally tailor-made for Cartethiya, because her main role with her ultimate is to either add spectral frostal stacks or arrow erosion stacks, which is the main one. And I want to reiterate that they literally were not even trying to hide it, because Chacona's weapon even buffs Cartethiya by increasing arrow erosion damage. So it got me thinking, this is at least two characters that it seems like they are very clearly tailor-made for another character's support role. And that kind of bothered me. And it was funny because first Phoebe came out, and then Zanny came out later. And then first Chacona came out, and then Cartethiya came out afterwards. And I guess also you can make the case for Jaja being the maid support role for Carlotta, but I don't even want to get into that. So whenever Augusta came out, I was like, this character looks sick as fuck. Like, she's stopping time, she electros, she teleporting all over the place. Like, this character looked broken, she looked cool as fuck. But I wanted, you know, after seeing the live stream, after seeing her in the store, well, you know, but after seeing, you know, I really wanted her a lot. And like, that's the character I wanted to go for whenever they announced that she's going to be basically a 5-star character. But whenever she came out and her kit came out, I was like, wait, this kit really does just seem like it's tailor-made for Augusta. So I'm like, okay, first Phoebe for Zanny, Kachona for Cartethiya, and now Yuno for Augusta. So I'm like, is this gonna be a common trend that's happening? Like for Phoebe, I feel like they did that perfectly because she literally has a DPS mode and a support mode. If they did that for all characters, I feel like people would be really happy, but we're not even gonna get into that. That's another video. We can talk about that in another video. But the fact that these characters feel like they are tailor-made for specific characters, I'm just worried about the possibility, and this is me just assuming and thinking bullshit. I am worried about the possibility that they could feed into this thing that they're doing even more, making characters for specific characters and kind of alienating the team aspect, or like letting you feel like you can use whatever character you want in any scenario you want, but rather making you be like, if you want this character, you should have this character too. If you want Yuno, you should have Augusta. If you want Cartethiya, Cartethiya broken. She can solo pretty much anything. But if you want Cartethiya, you probably should have Kachona. If you want Zanny, you low-key like Phoebe helps Zanny a shit ton. Luckily, I will say, I'm thinking about the future. Right now, it's not an issue because this game has a lot of skill expression. So Phoebe has a DPS mode, so it's not really like a big issue because she can have her own team with Spectral Rover and Shorekeeper or Verena or whoever the fuck you want. Kachona is definitely tailor-made for Cartethiya, but at the same time, they allowed her to add Spectral Frazzle stack, so she can work with characters like Zanny or even Phoebe for her Absolution state. And even now, Yuno is definitely tailor-made for Augusta with how she buffs heavy attack and how she buffs characters whenever they have shields or apply multiple shields. But she's also a good support for other characters like Qiuyuan or Jianzhen or other characters that apply shields. So it works out because you can actually experiment with other teams and kind of make things work. So it's not an issue at all right now because it's actually elevating the other characters in the game too. And I don't know if that was their intention, if that was their plan. It might have been, but the fact that like their kits seem like they're really tailor-made for specific characters. Like Yuno's kit saying that you will apply, I think it's 4%. She gives allies 4% damage amplification whenever they apply a shield, and Augusta literally applies multiple shields. So it's literally like, that's so specific to make Augusta better. Specifically, like nobody else would be able to benefit from that as much as Augusta. So that's the only reason why I'm worried about it. I hope that's not a thing that becomes a thing, but it's just a slight suspicion and a slight worry. We'll see whenever Galbrena and qiuyuan comes out, because if Galbrena or qiuyuan, they buff each other, I'll be a little bit more worried unless they can also work with other characters in the game. But if that happens, and I don't know what's gonna go on with Chisa, I don't know what's gonna go on in 3.0, but if that happens and it keeps going up like this, I feel like it has a high possibility. I won't say a high possibility, but it has a decent possibility to keep getting worse, knowing how gacha games go. And that's just why I'm worried. I just wanted to talk about it because it is something that I am concerned about for Wuthering Waves. So hopefully that doesn't happen, and hopefully I can just get my Yuno, get my Chisa, and just stare at them and use them for whatever I want. Get my Yuno, look at her feet, and not worried that only her feet are for Augusta.